Hey, how's it going, guys? A lot of you guys have been asking me about Ethereum recently, and all of the questions are about one of the three things. First, is this 60% corrections on Ethereum officially over? Or is the current bounce just a bull trap and we're going to have further corrections before the next bull run? Second, are there any ways that can help us, especially the beginners, to know when exactly is the best time to buy and sell Ethereum? Third, some of you have watched my previous videos and agree that the new bull run is back. But what is the next price target on Ethereum? How far can this bull run go before the next major corrections will crash? So in this video, I will share with you guys one extremely important chart of Ethereum that can answer all these three questions. Oh, by the way, if you have any questions or any markets that you want me to do a deep dive analysis, do drop me a message on Twitter or my email, or you can just leave your questions in the comment section below. I've got some really good questions from you guys, and they definitely give me a lot of inspirations for my future videos to help you guys better and make more money together. So keep them coming. Alright, back to Ethereum. This is the Ethereum monthly chart since the first day it was traded back in 2016. One thing I do want to highlight here is that all the charts I'll be sharing in this video are all on the log scale. In fact, if you're completely new to trading and technical analysis, one important rule of thumb you should always remember is that you should always use the log chart whenever the maximum price range on your chart is close to or more than 100%. So for most of the crypto charts, I would definitely recommend you to use the log scale because it will make your chart look much easier to visualize the price actions and much more accurate when you apply any technical analysis. As we can see on this chart, since the inception back in 2016, Ethereum had a 7-month consolidation from June 2016 to January 2017. And then it entered this massive 12-month bull run, going from $5 all the way to $1,400. That was a mind-blowing almost 25,000% return within a year. This was one of the only Ethereum bull market that we've ever had so far. Then in February 2018, Ethereum entered a bear market. The whole bear market lasted about 12 months and Ethereum went down more than 90%. Right after the bear market, Ethereum entered a very quiet consolidation period in February 2019. Again, this consolidation lasted another 12 months, but the price basically stayed the same. And finally, in March 2020, right after the final COVID crash, Ethereum entered a new major bull market in April 2020. Starting from around $130, it all the way went up to $4,300. Hitting the top in May 2021, had a 60% pullback, and then right now, Ethereum hovers around $3,300 and ready to break the all-time high. If we look closely, we can actually see that for our current bull run, Ethereum has perfectly formed this textbook uptrend channel with the upper resistance line on the top, lower support line at the bottom, and the mean reversion line in the middle. Starting from the very beginning, whenever Ethereum touches the upper resistance level, there's always a big correction. And whenever it touches the lower support level, Ethereum always bounces back and make a new high. If we zoom in this current bull run closer and look at the weekly chart, it's even more clear showing us how powerful this trend channel is at navigating Ethereum's price actions on a mid-term time frame. For example, over the past 15 months, Ethereum has touched this trend channel upper resistance twice. One was in February 2020, and the other one was in May 2021. Both of them were followed by a more than 60% major correction, and all the way dragged Ethereum down to test this trend channel's lower support level. And as we can see in the chart, every time when Ethereum tests this support level, it always finds the buyers to jump in, buy the dips, and push the price back up again. There's a lot of buying power around this trend support line to take out all the sell orders on Ethereum. That is why a mid-term to long-term trend channel with a clear upper resistance and a lower support is an extremely powerful price prediction tool, especially for beginners, to help you easily visualize two fundamental pieces of information for technical analysis. First, where the major buying and selling pressures are, and second, is the current trend still valid or broken? No matter what kind of trading strategies you use, as long as your trade decisions is based on technical analysis, then you always need these two pieces of valuable information. And very fortunately, right now, Ethereum is forming this perfect textbook uptrending channel and showing us exactly where the buying and selling pressures are and how long this current trend will continue going up. I know you guys like the magic DMARC9 indicator. Let's go to the daily chart with the DMARC9 indicator and see how that looks like. So this is an Ethereum daily chart with this trend channel and the DMARC9 indicator. There are two things I want to highlight here. First, as we mentioned earlier, Ethereum touched the upper resistance level twice, and both of them were followed by a 60% crash. After we added the DMARC9 indicator, we can actually see that both of the crashes were confirmed by the DMARC9 sell signals as well, which were a few days ahead, very close to the resistance line. For example, for the first crash, the DMARC9 sell signal appeared 9 days before the Ethereum touched the resistance line and crashed. And the second crash, the DMARC9 sell signal appeared 4 days before the crash. So what this tells us is that on the daily chart, if Ethereum is approaching the upper resistance line of this trend channel and confirmed by a DMARC9 sell signal that is very close to this resistance line, that should be a major warning signal for all of us, because that indicates a major sell-off could be on the way very soon. The second thing I want to highlight here is that, as we can see very clearly on this chart, the majority of the DMARC9 sell signals are between this upper resistance and this trend mean reversion line. And all the DMARC9 buy signals are between the lower support line of this channel and the mean reversion line. What this tells us is pretty simple. The buying pressure at the lower half of this trend channel is much higher, and the selling pressure at the upper part of this trend channel is much more dominant. So whenever Ethereum is traded within this lower half of this trend channel, that is a time for us to buy and accumulate as much Ethereum as possible, especially when Ethereum is approaching the lower support line and confirmed by a DMARC9 buy signal. That will be a great buying opportunity whenever that happens. I call this area the accumulation zone. On the other hand, whenever Ethereum is traded within the upper half of this trend channel, that is no longer the ideal time for us to buy. Instead, that is a time for us to slowly start taking some profits out of the table. I call this area the profits taken zone. So as long as Ethereum stays within this major trend channel, which I believe it will over the next 6 to 12 months, then these two zones will stay valid to help you guys make buy and sell decisions. Alright, let's come back to this weekly chart of Ethereum starting from the very beginning, which I believe is the single most important chart that every Ethereum investor should pay attention to. Because this chart truly provides us a very clean overview picture on the entire Ethereum price history and the ultimate market structure. It allows us very easily to visualize what Ethereum has been going through in the past, the scale of the previous bull and bear markets, the duration of Ethereum bull and bear cycle, and most importantly, this chart can clearly show us where we are right now and where we're heading into next. So now, let's use this chart and try to answer the questions like a lot of you guys been asking me, what is my price target for Ethereum? Well, what I strongly believe is that Ethereum will come back to retest this upper resistance sometime around the first quarter of next year in 2022. It's impossible to predict exactly which day, but based on this chart and where this trend channel leads us, if Ethereum hits the upper resistance in January next year, that would mean Ethereum's price will hit somewhere around $17,000. If Ethereum comes back and retests the resistance around March next year instead, then that will bring Ethereum to the level around $25,000. Although no one in the world can predict exact price in the future, I won't be surprised if Ethereum hits somewhere around $17,000 to $25,000 price range over the next 6 months. And based on the current price, that will be a potential 5x to 8x return on Ethereum. Alright, before we go, here are the major takeaways from this extremely important chart. First, we're definitely still in the middle of a major Ethereum bull run. As long as the price stays within this perfect uptrending channel, this bull run will continue moving up. If Ethereum breaks its trend channel to the downside, that could be a major warning signal that Ethereum could potentially enter a bear market. But I certainly do not believe that will happen anytime soon, at least not over the next 6 months, especially after we survived this 2-month 60% crash over the past 2 months and successfully bounced back with very strong bullish momentum. Second, the best time to buy Ethereum is when the prices are traded within this green accumulation zone, which is between the lower support line of this trend channel and the mean reversion line in the middle. On the other hand, the best time to start slowly taking some profits from your existing Ethereum positions is when the prices are within this red profit taking zone, which is between the upper resistance and the middle mean reversion line. And finally, based on the trend channel in this chart, if Ethereum can retest the upper resistance around the first quarter of next year in 2022, that would translate to a price target range of somewhere between $17,000 to $25,000, which is about a 5x to 8x return from our current price. Alright, that will be the end of this video. I truly hope this chart can help you guys have a much clearer overview on where we are and where we're going for Ethereum. If you get any value out of this video, please do me a favor and turn on that notification bell so that you won't miss out any of my future videos like this to help you. Again, if you're new to this channel, my name is Vic. Thanks so much for watching guys, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.